My Archer Link amiibo broke. What's going on, everyone? Likachu64 here, back with another video. So I apologize for being a bit late on this one, but hey, I figured better late than never. But Nintendo announced the Zelda DLC Pack 1 for the expansion pass for Breath of the Wild a couple weeks ago at this point. Again, sorry for being kind of late on this one. But, you know, just want to go over it. And I think so I'm going to go through all the major highlights of this first Pack 1 that's coming out in summer and say whether I think it's worth it or not worth it. And of course, what I mean by that is not whether you should get it or not. I mean, obviously, if you have Breath of the Wild, you should probably get this expansion pass because ultimately it looks awesome. Just whether or not I think it should be included in this expansion pass because, well, I think that a lot of these things are kind of just meh, in my opinion, while others are pretty cool. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. So the first major thing that was revealed about this DLC pack was the Trial of the Hero mode, which is basically a Cave of Trials mode, if you remember those from the previous Zelda games, where, except this time more in an Eventide Island sort of way. So, if you haven't read it yet, basically the way it goes is that you start off the Trial of the Hero mode with nothing, like in Eventide Island. No clothes, no potions, no weapons. Everything is stripped from you, and you have to make it through 40 individual rooms, taking out the enemies from each room each time, and stealing their weapons, carrying the weapons onto the next room, taking out all of them. And then once you complete it, you unlock the Master Sword in its unleashed form, if you will, permanently. So instead of it being at 30 power all the time, it's now at 60 power permanently. And put simply, this is amazing. The Cave of Trials in Zelda games before have always been totally awesome, and I think that this is a great thing to add into the DLC pack. I think it's totally worth it, and it totally adds to the value of the DLC pack in total. So, yeah, definitely. So the next thing is the travel medallion. I may not have worded that correctly, my bad. But what this basically does is, it's an additional map feature where you can take this medallion to any point on the map, open up your map, and use it, and from that point forward, you'll be able to teleport to that point at any time you want to. However, it is limited to one and only one spot that you can teleport to. You cannot lay down more than one at once. While I am for being able to lay down a bunch of different places that you can teleport to, a lot of the spots in this game seem to already be pretty accessible, given that you're able to teleport to any shrine you want to. And to only be able to lay down one of these, I don't know. For the most part, this isn't a major reason to buy this DLC pack. So, is it worth it? No, not really. The next thing is the Path of the Hero. What this does is it lets you track where you've been over the last 200 hours on your map with like this green sort of path thing that's you can fast forward. You can just check out every single spot you've been in the last 200 hours. And put simply, this is brilliant, in my opinion. Now, I actually thought of this idea before they even announced the DLC pack. In fact, I even told one of my friends that, wouldn't it be awesome if there'd be some way you could, like, track where you've been in, like, some sort of, like, fast-forward path on the map? And lo and behold, they came out with that. And I totally did not expect that to happen. This is really cool, I think, because not only is it neat to see, oh, where have I been this entire time, and at what points have I unlocked the different maps and sections of the map, that is. And but it also shows where you haven't been and where you can go back to explore more and check out stuff. So I think that this is an awesome addition, and I think it's one more thing I forgot to mention is that it works retroactively, so you can it'll track even before this DLC pack comes out. It'll track all the stuff that you did before the DLC pack came out, and that's awesome. That really is great because to know that it won't just track what happens after that is kind of reassuring. So, anyways, is it worth it? Oh my gosh, yes. So the next thing that they brought up was the different costumes that are coming out. And I think, alright, so I'll go through the ones that I remember. So it was the Phantom Armor from the Spirit Tracks games. Or from the Phantom Hourglass game. Yeah, Phantom Hourglass games, my bad. The Midna's Helmet, of course, from Twilight Princess. Majora's Mask from Majora's Mask. And the Tingle outfit. And I'm kind of split down the middle on this one, I'll say. The Majora's Mask one, heck yeah, I want to wear a Majora's Mask in this game. No question at all. That's awesome. The Midna's Helmet looks kind of ugly, in my opinion. I'm not super sure about that. The Tingle outfit. Oh yeah, you bet I'm going to be using that a ton. That's going to be hilarious to go through cutscenes where you're just watching like this ultra serious cutscene. Imagine finishing the game and you're in that last cutscene with Zelda and she's talking to you all serious and stuff, and the camera cuts to you and you're just sitting there with your dopey Tingle outfit. That's going to be stinking hilarious. I love that. And as for the Phantom Armor, it's okay. I like it. It looks pretty cool, I think. Not super great or anything. So is it worth it? Yeah, I'll say it is. In addition, another thing that they brought out was the Korok mask, which is another thing that you can wear in addition to the other 5 or 6 pieces of armor that will be available. And what this does is that whenever you're wearing the Korok mask, you can it will vibrate, it will rumble whenever there's a Korok nearby. And well, as it is, there are already a lot of Koroks in the game. And I have a feeling that if you've gotten this far in the game, you probably don't want any more Koroks. Now, of course, this is probably going to be mostly geared towards the through your second playthrough with the hard mode, which I'll talk about more later. But I don't know. I think that kind of takes away slightly from the joy of finding a Korok. Is that you kind of stumble upon them and you don't you're not going around searching for them constantly. I don't think, unless if you're a completionist and you want to get all 900, which in that case, good for you, buddy. You got a lot more patience than I do, but. I think this will come in handy for those completionist people who do want to do that. As for me, I don't plan on wearing it for that much. So, is it worth it? Probably not. And then finally, what I think is the most tricky to talk about of all of these is the hard mode. So, what the hard mode does is it upgrades the level of all of the enemies that you encounter. So, blue moblins will turn into silver moblins. Blue moblins will turn into black moblins. Red bokoblins will turn into blue bokoblins. Silver Lizalfos will turn in. Black Lizalfos will turn into silver Lizalfos. And plus, you'll also run into new levels of enemies that you haven't encountered in the regular game. So, I'm thinking maybe like a gold level of enemy or something. That's pretty cool to me, I think. Or maybe we'll finally get to see like a silver Hinox or something. Because they didn't have that variation of the Hinox in the regular mode, and I'd like to see that. In addition, you also have flying moblins. That's terrifying in and of itself, that you can get shot down from the air by moblin archers. That's scary. Oh, and also enemies will gradually regain health as you fight them, so you really need to take them out fast if you want to take them out at all. Now, normally I would say it's kind of dumb that you have to pay an extra $20 for a hard mode. Honestly, that does seem like something that should have been included in the original game after you completed it, to me. However, I feel like this case is different. I feel like if they didn't include in that hard mode, I don't think I'd really have much of a motivation to try out all the rest of the stuff. Like the different suits of armor, or the Cave of Trials mode, or the new medallion that lets you warp to any point on the map. I don't think I'd have any motivation really to try all these new things unless if it was for this hard mode. So, keeping that in mind, I'm not too angry about paying to get a hard mode because I'm looking forward to getting back in there and trying something more challenging. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. Zelda, in and of itself, Breath of the Wild, is a very, very challenging game for the first half of it. After the first half, it really, you really get to know your enemies very well, and you get a lot of overpowered equipment and weapons, and, well, I'm not going to say it becomes a piece of cake, but it gets pretty close. So I'm looking forward, honestly, to playing this harder mode and seeing really if it challenges me, especially towards the beginning, but maybe even at the end. And so for that, I think I'm willing to pay the extra money for this. So yes, I think it's worth it. Okay, so what do you guys think? Do you disagree with any of the things that I thought was worth or not worth it in this video? Are you planning on picking up the DLC expansion pass? Or are you just going to wait for the one that comes out in winter before you jump on the expansion pass train? Let me know down in the comments. And hey, while you guys are here, if you are interested in anything and everything Nintendo, Nintendo Switch, Breath of the Wild, Nintendo 3DS, then you can subscribe to my channel up here, and you can check out my latest video up here. While you're here, guys, if you could comment, like, share, all that good stuff, it really helps grow the channel, and yeah, it really helps me out a lot. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one.